put it on here.
Derek first suspected there might be something wrong with him when he started to experience some memory loss.
I kept forgetting things, and which wasn't normal, and then it obviously gradually got worse, and I was forgetting. Nothing drastic, but I was just getting bloody annoyed because I was forgetting things.
But from that point on, Derek's problem was getting doctors to take him seriously. In fact, he and his wife had to push for 4 years to get a diagnosis.
Very begrudgingly, they did a test for us and then told us Derek had Alzheimer's, but there was nothing they could do to help us.
But he isn't alone. In England, 670,000 people are thought to be suffering from dementia, but of those, only 319,000, that's less than half, have been formally diagnosed. And according to an interactive online map launched by the Department of Health today, some areas are much worse than others. Members of the public can type in their postcode to find out the dementia diagnosis statistics for their area, ranging from 75% at best to just 33% in some of the worst places. And where Derek lives in Wiltshire, the diagnosis rate is only 36.7%. The Department of Health hope that naming and shaming the worst areas will force them to drive up standards.
This kind of variation really isn't acceptable, and we've said as a government we want 2/3 of the country to be up to the proper diagnosis rates, and that's what we're aiming to achieve.
But what if you're unlucky enough to be living in one of those areas named and shamed? Does the onus then remain on the patient to have to fight harder for diagnosis?
If you've got children and you see a catchment area for a good school, you can move. You can't move. The worst thing you can do if you've got Alzheimer's is to move. And so, although yes, perhaps it's important to perhaps shame the authorities, it's not helpful for people who are living with it at all.
Derek admits that he found having his dementia confirmed daunting, but ultimately he believes it enabled him to get on with living his life in the best way he can. For many undiagnosed sufferers, that just isn't an option. Ruth Liptrot, 5 News.